Good morning and welcome to U101. I am Max, your associate lecturer for the module, and I will be helping you throughout the course. I thought I would give you a video update just to respond to some of the questions that you've had. Thank you for getting back to me with the welcome letter. For those of you who haven't, I'm really looking forward to hearing about you and your work life, your schedule, your interests. But between now and then, I thought I would answer some of the questions that you already have asked me about the module. So the first question was about the week by week progress. As you may have noticed, week one is quite quick. There's not much to it. And then week two starts having some of the exercises. Someone asked if they should just start week two, if they should keep going through the stuff. What I would suggest is you can, in this case right now, I think you can go up to the end of week three. That's sort of fine. It's some of the basic essentials, and you can go through it quite quickly. For future, stick to whichever block you're in until you've submitted each block. There's 4 of them, and there's 4 TMAs, which are tutor marked assessments. So I'd say stick to the block that you're in for each tutor marked assessment and then start the new one once you're done. It's just a good way of organizing it. And then week by week, you'll notice there's sometimes it can go by kind of quick. You know, you've gotten Lola for week 2. Lola, because it's I have these in my office. I've had these in my office for like a year, and I never noticed. So it's Lola, but it's actually U101, obviously. You can't really see, can you? But it's yeah, you have the box. I always thought it was Lola. It's not. And it's kind of a running joke across the tutorials and the tutors as well that it's the Lola box. Anyways, in there you'll find some of the exercises for week 2. What I would tell you about burning through the course and going through it as sort of quickly, or getting ahead of yourself. A lot of you may already know this, but design is a skill. It's something that takes a lot of practice. It's something that your body gets used to doing. It's something that you develop. It's really a skill. So you can't just sneak your way through the module. You really need to put the time in. So whatever the week 2 says about what you should do with Lola, if you do have the extra time, I would suggest doing it 2 or 3 times over. Do the same exercises a couple times. When it comes especially to drawing, you've all talked quite a bit about wanting to improve your sketch. So I think that's just a great way to start. Whatever exercise that there is, you can build on it or extend it if you have the time. Next is structure. So as I said, the courses are divided over 4 blocks, and it's completely online, which is quite convenient right now, given that every other university is sort of hustling to get the content up for their online modules, whereas we already have it already set up. It's already been approved and ready to go, so that's quite great for you. So just follow the online course. That's the majority of your work. Then there's tutorials. So there's 8 of them throughout the module that are taught by me. They're 2-hour sessions and 1-hour sessions. 2-hour ones are at the beginning of the module of each block, and then the 1-hour session is just before the submission of your tutor marked assessment. So we go over some of the content that's within the module, give you an idea of where to go with it, what kind of things you need to know. So it's really there are fixed guidelines for me to deliver certain things to you, but then apart from that, there's also exercises that we can do throughout. So it's quite an engaging experience, and it's just things on top of what the online experience is giving you. So it's sort of giving you this like practical insight and this more specific to you insight about the course. That leads us to sort of the tutorial or the tutor design. Each tutor has a different way of working. I say tutor and AL and associate lecturer, it's kind of all the same thing. So everyone has different styles. I thought that to make it a bit more engaging and to make it sort of like a design studio, which is where my background comes from, the sort of classic in-person design studios. And I wanted to recreate that because there's a lot of really good support between students and between the teachers and the students, and you get to really feel that space and get to work in it a lot and critique together, which is just a great thing to develop, I think, throughout the course of your teachings in design. And when you become a designer, it's a necessary thing to have that sort of critical thinking. So I wanted to do office hours that depending on your availabilities. Now, thank you again to everyone who has submitted their availabilities. It looks like for now, the daytime sessions would be more on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because it seems like you're more available during the day, during the week. In the evenings, I'll do a couple sessions because that's where the majority of you are working, and then I might do one or two sessions in the weekends, depending on what everyone's up to, including myself. I still want to have a pinch of a social life if there is one right now. As for updates, when you send me questions, I think it would be really helpful. I'm just going to relay them back through these sort of video updates to be able to give you info that everyone else may be asking, but someone was the first one to ask it. So, things like the week by week progress. I think some of you may have had that question in the back of your mind, but one of you voiced it out, so then everyone sort of benefits from it. And that's kind of the style of teaching I want to have. Then you have talked about, what the tutorials are versus what the in-sessions are. So the tutorials are usually the ones that we would all work together. But I have some extra time right now because it's lockdown. You're my only students this semester. And so that's where those office hours and those extra tutorials are coming in, only because I've got the time for it, might as well feel engaged, might as well develop, that sense of group in this module. If that's what you're interested in, fantastic. If you are someone who does want to work on their own, that's your choice as well. That's fine. But it's there for anyone who wants it and anyone who's interested. And then as for extra content, so a lot of you are interested in digital art and graphics, graphic design. It seems like logos, business and marketing as well, and a lot of relationship between design and information technology or digital media, which is great. It's also nice to see that there's so many of you all interested in the same group, so that's quite good. And there's actually a few of you that are Twitch streamers, which I thought was a fun thing to point out. What a coincidence it is that there's not just one of you, but there's a few of you, and even just in the ones that I've talked to, which isn't everyone yet. So I'm really keen to hear about what everyone's interests are and to really start creating those connections between all of you, which I think is great. But sorry, that aside, gotten distracted. The extra content itself, it seems like you're also interested in sketches. It seems like you want to improve your drawing skills, your communication skills in terms of how you communicate or convey a design. And that's the extra content that I want to help supply. So I'm going to be doing videos and I'm going to be doing working sessions with you just to develop your skills and sort of get into some of the good habits of sketching, get into some of the rules, unwritten rules around designing or sketching or drawing for design specifically, and some of the different fields and how they have different approaches. And in addition to the graphics, there's also some of you who are interested in interior design, and that is great as well. We'll be able to talk about that. We'll be able to talk about if it's furniture design, if it's interior spaces. So there's a lot to work with and a lot to talk about, and I really hope that we can get a very engaged style with that. Some of the first things I'm going to do are a sketch basics video, so some of the materials that you need and some of the just sort of really good habits to have. So watch out for those. I'll keep them in the tutor forum. And I also have some friends, thankfully, in graphics and in digital media. One of my very good friends in Montreal is the assistant artistic director for Ubisoft. So we'll see if we can get him in for an interview if over the next 8 months I'm either back in Montreal for a visit with my family, or if it's over Skype online or Zoom or Adobe Connect. So looking really forward to spending the next 8 months working alongside you and developing your skills in the module for U101. If you still have any questions, please comment below, send me an email, I will get back to you, or I'll be updating you via these videos. So thank you very much and welcome again.